He's big in stock.
You're
I'm like real life investment. Like,
okay.
I know the most guaranteed stock I got is myself. So put everything I got into me. I'm telling you, because when that stock market crash, nobody care about your money, man. For example, like treatment, just on the field, off the field, just making sure everything's like going out there feeling 100%. Every time you step on the field, that's major.
That's not about football. That's about something else. When you got a guy with his talent that showed what he could do, particularly with his poise under pressure and what have you, and being sacked so many times and all, the brother can play.
Shedeur Sanders just pulled the ultimate Uno reverse card on the entire NFL. No warning, no chill. The so-called overhyped QB just landed a contract so insane, it's giving veteran quarterbacks an identity crisis. Haters screaming into the void, filing emotional damage claims. Is this real life or just primetime magic? One thing's clear, the league isn't ready, and neither is your favorite analyst. Grab a snack. This ride is wilder than a Jets season highlight reel.
Shedeur Sanders signed his first ever NFL contract with the Cleveland Browns after being selected 144th overall by the Cleveland Browns. The CUQB has put pen to paper and inked his first NFL contract. Yesterday, Sanders signed a 4-year rookie deal worth $4.6 million that includes a $447,000 signing bonus. That may actually be a step down from Shedeur Sanders and what he was making off of NIL in college.
Subscribe if you think Shedeur should be the starting quarterback. Just like that, Shedeur Sanders didn't walk into the NFL. He moonwalked in wearing a diamond-encrusted watch, a custom Prime DNA suit, and a grin that says, "I already cashed my checks." This isn't your regular rookie saga with humble beginnings and a slow crawl up the pay ladder. Nah, this is a takeover. Hostile, hilarious, and high definition. The NFL salary ecosystem just got hacked by a kid who still remembers his cafeteria lunch code.
To get my first rookie contract is lit. I just go to practice every day, bro. It's no difference. Rookie minicamp was fun. It was good to be able to just get back on the field and just throw the football again. What took me by surprise was the endless amount of resources teams have, and it was real cool to be able to have access to them daily. It's different than like college, because in college, of course, you have a lot of resources, but in the league, it's like whatever you think about, bro. The outside noise, everything was put to end. I was able to actually get out there and show what I'm able to do.
Veterans who've been grinding for a decade, collecting concussions and sponsor deals with local tire shops, are now watching Shedeur sign contracts that look like they belong in a Silicon Valley IPO folder. Players who've been playing the game by the old rules, keep your head down, wait your turn, beg for commercials, are suddenly realizing the game just got rewritten by someone who showed up with 10 million followers and an entire production crew.
First off, shout out to Shedeur Sanders. And I want to sit here and give him another shout out just for continuously throughout this whole situation, just showing up as a true professional every turn and every fastball they threw your way. He's literally continuously showing up as a professional, showing up early to Cleveland, showing out for the community in Cleveland, making himself very gracious with the Cleveland Browns organization and fans. And again, I'm sure if you are a Shedeur Sanders fan or a Deion fan, or you watched enough college football last year, we kind of already knew that the Browns was going to originally.
Shedeur isn't just showing up with talent. He's bringing charisma, clicks, and the kind of brand power that makes boardrooms nervous and GMs sweat. While some rookies are excited just to get their jersey number approved, Shedeur's out here negotiating his own narrative. He's making sure every camera flash, every locker room quote, every offhand sneaker choice adds another comma to his income stream. And the old guard? Oh, they're fuming in designer silence.
That is floating on these YouTube spaces. The one thing that's in Shedeur Sanders' contract, the one thing that's sparking interest all around these YouTube spaces, and people want to know what it is. I'm gonna tell you what it is in just 1 second. What is that thing that sparked everyone's interest in Shedeur Sanders and Shedeur Sanders' contract? Who? If you look at it and you think about it, that prime equity thing, it would be a monster change when it comes to NFL contracts.
These veterans spent years trying to be the face of the franchise. Shedeur showed up and became the face of the league before his cleats even touched NFL grass. The league expected a quiet rookie campaign, maybe a few preseason flashes, a nice wholesome, he's adjusting storyline. Instead, they got a cultural meteor with an endorsement bag big enough to give Russell Wilson night sweats. 1 minute, he's throwing darts at practice. Next, he's dropping a limited edition fashion line and announcing a docu-series. And now the locker room tension is getting real. You can practically hear it. The side eyes, the grumbles, the passive-aggressive, "we'll see if he can handle the pros" comments. Translation? Why is this kid making more money in endorsements than I've made in 5 years combined? Meanwhile, Shedeur's over here comparing his wristwatches to Super Bowl rings like he's collecting both at the same rate. The irony? The same guys telling him to prove himself are now checking their social media game, hiring PR consultants, and asking their agents if it's too late to get a podcast deal. Because Shedeur didn't just raise the bar, he set it on fire, danced in the ashes, and got a crypto sponsorship out of it. Suddenly, having a good combine score isn't enough. If you don't come with a logo, a slogan, and a pregame prayer that doubles as a viral clip, you're falling behind.
Shedeur Sanders has two things going for him. And don't kid yourself, this is how the league works. The owner of the Cleveland Browns, Jimmy Haslam, is really impulsive. And in a quarterback room with zero star power, except Shedeur Sanders, he's going to get a chance. He is desperate to be recognized and for star power. Cleveland's roster is the weakest easily in the division, and the early schedule is brutal. So my prediction, you start looking at that schedule between week 7 and 10, Shedeur Sanders is going to get a shot.
One player reportedly whispered something about earning it the hard way. Meanwhile, Shedeur was filming a luxury brand shoot before practice, then hopping into a private jet with more legroom than most NFL locker rooms. The vibe? Less rookie on the grind, more CEO with a side hustle in football. And that's what's breaking brains across the league. This isn't just about touchdowns anymore. It's about TikToks, trademarks, and turning every handshake into a 7-figure deal. Some of the salty veterans are calling it disrespectful. But really, it's just unfamiliar. They're watching a new model in action, a hybrid quarterback marketing machine, trained by Dion himself and powered by generational swagger. The idea that someone could skip the dues-paying misery tour and still get the bag? And the media? They're eating it up like Thanksgiving dinner. Every post, every smirk, every walk to the tunnel is turning into a highlight reel of flexes.
Shedeur Sanders has the #1 NIL valuation in college football right now at $5.1 million. He's ahead of Arch Manning and Caleb Williams, the reigning Heisman Trophy winning quarterback that plays at USC. His NIL valuation over the summer was at $1.3 million, so it's quadrupled since Colorado's 3-0 start. Quadrupled. Shedeur's $5.1 million NIL valuation is approaching his father Deion Sanders' first-year compensation as Colorado's head coach at $5.5 million.
Even the front offices are low-key rattled. How do you manage someone whose brand might be bigger than the team's? How do you talk team-first mentality to someone who's already got a multi-platform empire humming before he throws his first NFL touchdown? You don't. You adjust, fast, or risk becoming the next team used as a launchpad in his inevitable takeover. And that takeover isn't just theoretical anymore. It's financial, cultural, and borderline spiritual. Shedeur isn't adapting to the league. The league is adapting to Shedeur. He's not just breaking the mold, he's melting it down, turning it into a custom chain, and live streaming the whole process with a Drake feature in the background. Every time he steps on the field, he's playing chess while the rest of the league is stuck in Madden tutorials. And while that might frustrate the traditionalists, it's thrilling the new generation. Younger players aren't jealous, they're inspired. They're watching Shedeur flip the entire system on its head, making rookie minimum look like an insult and turning brand building into an extension of route running.
Shedeur Sanders is going to be one of the richest quarterbacks ever. Prime equity. I want you guys to understand that word, prime equity. Yesterday, I did a video about him receiving $14 million in commission from $250 million earned from his jersey sale. A lot of y'all said, Cap, that's a lie. When Shedeur signed his deal with the Browns, which was $4.6 million, there was a clause in his contract that was called prime equity. This clause ties into brand legacy.
Suddenly, the idea of being just a football player sounds like a poverty mindset. Everyone wants a piece of the Shedeur blueprint now. Even the water boys are considering NIL deals. So yes, the league has officially been put on notice. The vets can grumble all they want, but they'd better get comfortable seeing Shedeur's face on billboards, sneaker ads, video game covers, and probably an AI hologram giving financial advice. Because this isn't a flash-in-the-pan moment. It's a redefinition of what it means to enter the league. Not just as a player, but as an icon in progress. Shedeur didn't just sign a contract, he signed a cultural declaration. And while others are still fighting for jersey sales and sideline respect, let that sink in. The Browns, a franchise once synonymous with quarterback chaos, Sunday sadness, and industrial strength disappointment, just landed the most electrifying, brand-savvy, spotlight-scorching rookie in recent memory. It's like winning the lottery with a scratch card you found in a parking lot puddle.
I want to talk Shedeur Sanders. It really got people worked up. There's been a lot of comparisons to a lot of people. I think it's just people drop in the draft, and I do think quarterbacks are judged differently. If a wide receiver had a draft room that said legendary, I wouldn't care. Some of it felt cringy, and maybe that's it.
I think this was a multi-front failure. I think it was a failure, if I'm being honest, by a lot of the NFL insiders in not having anywhere close to their finger on the pulse of what clearly the majority of the league thought of Shedeur.
And Shedeur, he's laughing all the way to the bank, the film room, and the end zone. The contract? Silly. The money? Stupid. The bonuses? Basically a glitch in the system. He saw the numbers and probably had to double check that it wasn't a Madden franchise mode bug. Cleveland gave him the bag, the keys, and likely the code to the team cafeteria vending machines. And you know what? He earned every dollar of it. He's not pacing around nervously like some nervous rookie praying for reps. He's already plotting, studying tape like it owes him money, perfecting throws that make veteran corners question their entire existence. The man is locked in, but make no mistake, he's doing it with a grin on his face and a gold chain that could double as stadium lighting. This isn't pressure, this is playtime for Shedeur. Meanwhile, the haters are chewing drywall. The same people who wrote him off as just Deion's kid are now pretending they knew he'd be great all along. He's not out here name-checking them. He doesn't need to. His presence alone is a full-time roast. Every practice snap, every headline, every logo deal that lands in his lap is a giant billboard saying, "Told you so."
And financial future to his on-the-field performance, allowing him to potentially benefit from the value he brings beyond just playing football. It could include things like revenue from merchandise, endorsements, and media appearances. So this means because he came into the NFL already a brand, the NFL has to cut him a piece in order to access that. So y'all thought they were just trying to teach him a lesson because of his ego. It was because he was a brilliant business mind.
He's already in legacy mode, and he hasn't even thrown his first regular season pass. Think about that. The man hasn't taken a snap under center in the NFL, and he's already being whispered about like a future Hall of Famer. Cleveland fans? Oh, they're drunk off hope. And rightfully so. This is a franchise that's been wandering in the quarterback desert for years, only to stumble upon a golden oasis with a fade and elite pocket presence. The city didn't just gain a player, they gained a movement. The jerseys are flying off shelves. The ticket sales? Spiking. Local businesses are already naming sandwiches after him. We're talking Shedeur sliders with prime sauce and a side of humility for every salty AFC North rival. And it's not just Cleveland feeling the glow. The NFL as a whole just became more fun, more marketable, more watchable. Shedeur isn't just a quarterback, he's a ratings magnet. That's not analysis, that's wishful thinking wrapped in delusion. They don't want to believe he's the real deal because if he is, it means everything they thought they knew about the QB pecking order just got flipped like a bad pancake. And nothing burns worse than watching someone skip the line while you're still holding your little buzzer.
It's about damn time. Shedeur Sanders has officially been named the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns after the conclusion of minicamp. And let me show you guys the stats of the 4 quarterbacks from the Browns during minicamp. Because obviously this job was not easy to get due to the fact that he was going against 3 legit quarterbacks to get this starting job. Kenny Pickett, who they just signed, Joe Flacco, the Hall of Famer, and then the guy that they selected in the draft before him in Dylan Gabriel. But Shedeur Sanders went off in minicamp, and let me show you guys the stats, which is the reason why he is being named the starter.
But here's the thing, Shedeur didn't skip anything. He just turned every step into a spectacle, every moment a statement. And now, he's walking into Cleveland with more buzz than an Amazon warehouse on Prime Day. He's focused too, dialed in like a laser-guided missile. He's out here working on mechanics, chemistry, timing, while his critics are on burner accounts, posting grainy practice footage hoping to catch him blinking wrong. Too late. The spotlight's already his. He's not just living in it, he's thriving in it, dancing in the blinding heat while everyone else fumbles around in the shadows. His work ethic is terrifying. His poise is bulletproof, and his hunger is louder than the crowd at a Browns playoff game. Yes, that's finally going to be a thing, and he's not flinching. Because this isn't pressure. This isn't the usual rookie transition. This is a quarterback apocalypse with merch, sponsors, and enough swagger to power the grid in Ohio through winter. Cleveland lucked out. Let's not sugarcoat it. They hit the jackpot with this kid. The kind of player who changes not just the trajectory of a team, but the whole perception of a franchise.
This is what Shedeur just did. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's what he said. $250 million in jersey sales. Most popular rookie jersey since his pops, Coach Prime, Deion Prime Sanders. $15 million or so in commission from them jersey sales. This is a perfect example of what's for you is for you, and they can't take it away. He's still gonna make the Browns. He's still gonna end up being a starter. He's still gonna end up getting a huge contract in a few years. But he already making more money than some of the dudes that's been in the league for years.
The Browns aren't just building something. They have something big, something dangerous. And if you can't see that, it's because your vision is clouded by jealousy, bad takes, or leftover trauma from watching too many 6 to 10 seasons. The locker room knows it too. You can feel it. The energy is different. Suddenly guys are running routes a little harder. Coaches are a little louder. Practice looks like an episode of Hard Knocks with a championship filter. Because when you've got a guy like Shedeur under center, it changes the temperature in the building. Mediocrity is no longer tolerated, not because of speeches, but because the bar just got raised, and it's wearing custom cleats. And it's not about arrogance. Shedeur's not running around yelling about how great he is. He doesn't need to. His game talks. Focused in a way that makes even the veterans nervous. He's outworking everyone, not just outshining them. And that's what really burns the haters. He's not a flash in the pan. He's the stove. And it's only heating up.
But what we can't deny is that Shedeur Sanders is a bad brother. This brother's something special. Okay, his poise in the pocket, his athleticism, his willingness to stand in there amongst the giants and take hits, take punishment. Got to give credit where credit is due. He only got sacked once, but he was running for his life half the damn time he was out there. But his ability to continue to make plays under duress, I believe, cements him as a surefire first-round pick and one of the top 2 quarterbacks that's going to go in next spring's NFL draft.
So while other rookies are figuring out how to balance pressure and production, Shedeur's out here orchestrating an NFL takeover with the precision of a concert pianist and the swagger of a rapper dropping his debut album. Cleveland didn't just draft a quarterback. They launched a brand, a movement, and possibly a dynasty. And all those doubters who said he couldn't, they're now footnotes in his highlight reel. He doesn't need to clap back. He just plays, cashes checks, and flashes that grin that says he's always 2 steps ahead. Shedeur isn't waiting for greatness. He's already living in it, and the rest of the league is just trying to catch up.